The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. On the program today, a number of big races around the country. We'll start out of the West Coast, the Shared Belief, where Kentucky Derby hopeful Honor AP was 1-5 to win that prep before he heads to Kentucky. Our local race of the week is on the grass at 5 furlongs, where we had some stakes types vying for the winner's share of $45,000, going again 5/8 on the turf. We'll also have a look at Mischievous Alex up at Saratoga. Midnight Bisou was a heavy favorite to win the Grade 1 Personal Ensign. And Dick will also talk Travers Stakes, and we'll talk with Mike Pino, who just won the Jersey Derby recently up at Monmouth Park. He'll be joining us here in just a little bit. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down on the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing, and Mr. Eclipse winner Dick Girardi right here to my left. And Dick, we're going to talk Travers in just a minute, but you talked about it a couple of weeks ago. It's now official. No cotillion, no Pennsylvania Derby.
Yeah, I think we knew that was going to happen, Keith, from almost the moment when we came back, because there are 2 things. One, because the Derby moved to the first Saturday in September, the Preakness first Saturday in October. The timing just didn't work to get the top horses that these races really deserve. And secondly, because the horsemen lost so much in the 4 months we were out, did they need to have the overnight purses built up, and that would have been money that they didn't get. And this is not a year where you want to deprive your local guys of anything. So it made sense. The good news is, won't lose any graded status. Everybody will understand why it's out for a year, and you can always postpone any race for a year and you don't lose your status. So next year, everything is back to normal. Derby in May, Preakness in May, and the Pennsylvania Derby and the cotillion in the middle of September.
As those 2 races had found the perfect spot on the calendar, just again, things got a little crazy. Dick, later today, it's the Travers Stakes. Again, they've moved everything around the Travers now before the Kentucky Derby in a month. And Dick, to me, it just doesn't seem like Travers Day.
Now, it's just weird because we're used to seeing the horses that were in the Triple Crown, where we do have the race, the winner of the only Triple Crown race this year as the favorite in Tis the Law, and deserved favorite. He's just had a great year, a great one with Barclay Tag. This is a fascinating matchup. It's only an 8-horse field, but it really comes down to one thing. Is Uncle Chuck, with only 2 starts, coming from the West Coast, with one of the great last race workouts I've ever seen, an unbelievable stride reminiscent, Baffert says, of Arrogate, is he good enough in his 3rd start to give Tis the Law a race in the Travers? We shall see this afternoon, but I am looking forward to it. And of course, if Uncle Chuck wins, or even runs good enough, he'll have Derby points. Right. And that, keep in mind, this is a Derby points race this year. The final prep races this weekend for the Derby, including the Ellis Park Derby this weekend as well. And that's it, man. It's over. Then it's off to the Derby 4 weeks from tonight.
Despite the fact that it's not a deep field, Dick, it looks like a very, very interesting matchup. Let's get to our local race of the week. We're on the grass here at 5 furlongs, a $45,000 purse, optional claim for 3rd level allowance condition, claiming price of $50,000. Number 3, Battle Station, gets bet down to 4-5 for trainer Danny Velasquez. Dick, when returning to the turf, has come back with 2 terrific efforts.
No question. 90 buyer, 91 buyer, just missed, and 1 by a neck.
Second choice, number 7, Dubini. Here you get 7-2 for trainer Kate DeMasi. Dubini was a runner-up last year behind Pure Sensation in the Turf Monster, but 2 starts here in 2020 have both been troubled trips.
Yeah, such a neat horse. Yeah, was a favorite in the stakes at Monmouth most recently, but yeah, Kate has done a great job with this horse.
Can you say late run in the middle of the course? Here's our local feature this week. So Dancing Bull leading the way with a 1/4 mile to go. Hollywood Talent, good striking spot on the outside. Amblin Man Dubini trying to make a bit out the middle of the course. Battle Station cuts the corner and begins to close ground down toward the inside. Hollywood Talent has taken the lead with 1 furlong to go. Dubini making a big run on the outside. Battle Station coming up the inside. Amblin Man is in between. Hollywood Talent still in front. Dubini on the outside. Here comes Dubini. Dubini on the outside. Yes, sir. Dick, when you looked at how they bet this race, Battle Station was probably too low at 4-5. Dubini was too high at 7-2. You got to play Dubini. And here comes the late run. Dubini gets up to win at a half length and pays $9.60 to win. I thought that was a great price on a horse that absolutely factored in here.
$379,000 in career, a great horse for Pewter Stable.
Dubini wins our local race of the week. Let's get to our first break. We're going to welcome in trainer Mike Pino. How about the Jersey Derby? We'll talk to Mike right after this.
Racehorses are pampered.
Treated with care and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
And they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
but it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs,
Jobs.
And billions in economic impact each year.
all across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. It's time for this week's feature segment. It's a great pleasure to welcome in one of the really great guys in the backstretch here. He's done a tremendous job year after year, and I want to apologize for not having him on sooner. It's trainer Mike Pino. Mike, a recent victory in the Jersey Derby that Dick will get to in just a minute, but in introducing the fans to you and your stable, you've been around the game for quite a bit. What got you interested in the sport of thoroughbred racing?
Well, we were raised with horses our whole life. My brother Mario's a jockey. I have another brother's a blacksmith. And, you know, we've been around horses all our lives. And Mario went on to be a jockey, and then I went to work for Dickie Dutrow as a groom and an assistant because I wanted to train horses.
Now, you came up here to Parks a number of years ago and have settled in here, one of our top percentage guys. When you did make the decision to switch here to Parks, what brought you here?
Well, I was in Delaware, and, you know, when the slots were really the only thing in town, and it worked out great. And then Parks was going to get slots, so that kind of brought me here to slots in the morning, basically.
Mike, you've had some really good horses through the years. I got you with, I think, 10 graded stakes wins. What was it winning the Jersey Derby at Monmouth like a couple weeks ago? What was that like?
It was awesome. You know, the way he ran, you know, I always thought the horse had talent. He wanted to get a little rank early in his races, and we've been trying to get him to take back a little. And I give credit to Paco Lopez. I mean, he took him back, saved the ground, got a great trip. But I was impressed the way he punched away, because a lot of turf horses just don't punch away like that. So, you know, it looks like he has some more, you know, for the future, so that's what we're hoping for.
Your best horse was 10 Keys, won over $1 million. Give me some memories of him in your stable.
Well, I was a young guy. I think I was training like 5 years. There was a carpenter that I knew at the races. He won some exotic bet, and he wanted to claim a horse, and we wind up picking this horse out. We claimed him for like maiden 14.5, and he went on to earn $1,200,000. Just a really nice horse, and I was just a young guy. You know, it taught me a lot, and I had a lot of fun.
Mike, tell us a little bit about Vanzi, the development. When did you realize that Vanzi could be a good horse, and what did he show you back then?
We bought him at a two-year-old sale at Timonium. Just a real athletic horse, grand-looking horse, and right away he just had, you know, horses train good, but you know you can see they show class, and he just showed class, and he trained just as good as a lot of others, but he stood out with class. And right away I thought he was a pretty decent horse.
Now, Mike, all of the trainers, not only here at Parks, but really pretty much nationwide, have been faced with an unprecedented situation here with the virus and the shutdowns. How did you handle your stable? How did you handle your barn? How did you handle your horses?
Well, it's definitely a wild year this year. But I had some horses at Gulfstream, very few. We were down there trying to claim some. And basically left the horses here and left them in training, kind of went light with them until we knew what was going on, and just kept them healthy and did what we could.
Mike, one more horse from your past, Perfect Officer, I mentioned to you a little while ago, third in the 2011 Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint at Churchill. What was that day like to see one of your horses come that close to winning a great race?
Oh, that was great to get the horse there. I mean, he was another horse we claimed. We claimed him at Gulfstream that year. And he won a couple stakes and ran some good races at Kentucky. So we took a shot. And he ran very credible. You know, he ran a good race. I was very happy with that.
Well, fans, when you see his name on the program, Mike Pino, his horses will always deserve a second look. Again, one of our top percentage guys in the backstretch. And again, congratulations, big victory, Vanzie in the Jersey Derby. Thanks for joining us today, Mike. Let's get to our national coverage now. The national coverage brought to you by Chapin Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. And we start our national coverage out at Del Mar with the ungraded Shared Belief. It's 3-year-olds at 1 mile and 1/16 for a purse of $100,000. Dick scratched down to a field of 4 here. One of the main Kentucky Derby contenders, number 5, Honor AP, gets bet down to 1 to 5. You love 1 to 5.
I do.
Trader John Sheriff. Dick, he's fired in all 4 of his starts and is coming off a career best in the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby.
Yeah, certainly the Santa Anita Derby, as you said, Keith, was his best by the numbers, a 102. Visually, it was really good. He beats Authentic, who comes back to win the Haskell, so it looks like a really good race. And obviously, John Sheriff is one of the best trainers on the West Coast. He's got another really good horse.
Now, the 4 horses, Bob Baffert sends out 2 of them, and they bet number 6, Cezanne, as the second choice at 5 to 2 in his 2 career starts. He won at 40 cents on the dollar, and he won at 10 cents on the dollar.
And Keith, some years ago, I coined the phrase RIP for horses who are reputation-induced phenomena. Cezanne is one. He costs $3.65 million. That's why he's hyped to no end. He really hasn't done anything. 90 buyer, an 85 buyer, but it's Baffert. He cost a fortune. Assumptions have been made.
Dick, there's another Baffert horse near 1,000 words. He's 9 to 1. Let's get the call of the Shared Belief.
1,000 words on top 3/4 of a length. Cezanne and Honor AP edging up alongside once again, and now a half length separates these 3 midway on the far turn. 1,000 words being put to pressure. Cezanne draws even. Honor AP is coming up to them 3 wide. These 3 will arrive at the top of the stretch together in the Shared Belief. Cezanne pokes his head in front. Honor AP is full out now, second on the outside, and digging in toward the rail is 1,000 words. 1,000 words keeps on fighting on the inside of Cezanne. Not today for Honor AP. On the far outside, it's Kiss Today Goodbye. They're coming down to the line, and 1,000 words has done it.
Dick, Cezanne's 5 to 2, 1,000 words, 9 to 1. Of course it's going to be 1,000 words, and 1,000 words goes gate to wire, wins 3/4 of a length, pays $20.40 to win. Dick, Honor AP with not the best of his efforts. I guess you consider maybe a bounce off the Santa Anita Derby, but he does rally late to get up for second. Really was never a factor to win. But 1,000 words, who would not run well recently, pulls a good time to put a big performance. You get $20.
I got to be honest with you, Keith. I am not sure what to make of this race or this result. So Flavien Prat has his choice. He chooses Cezanne, who runs last, a close last in a 4-horse field. Abel Cedillo ends up 1,000 words. Lucid lead, wins. Honor AP had every chance. He was kind of running when the race was ending, as if maybe a mile and 16th wasn't long enough. The buyer, which I said, boy, this is going to come back bad, came back 104. But did Kiss Today Goodbye also run that well? Just a strangely run race, a weird result. I don't know what to make of it. Obviously, 1,000 words will go into the Derby. Obviously, Honor AP will go into the Derby, which, by the way, for the people keeping score at home, is 4 weeks from today.
Dick, let's get coverage up at Saratoga. Their big race on Saturday with the Grade 1 Whitney. It's the older handicap horses at a mile and 1/8. The big pot here, $750,000. Number 5, Tom's D'Etat, who we've seen recently on the show, is even money for trainer Al Stahl. Dickie's won 4 consecutive stakes, and you could make an argument that he is really, if not the top, but near the top of the handicap division.
Yeah, I think he's the best horse in the country. I said that on last week's show. I think he's accomplished enough. The way he runs, the 109 buyer into Stephen Foster, when he beat a really good horse, and by my standards, who just gave everything he could and couldn't make up an inch in the stretch.
Second choice, number 3, Code of Honor, is 5 to 2 for Shug Begay. Dick, he was third behind the Fleet Vacoma. Last time out, the Met Mile obviously going longer today, and he was the 2019 Travers winner over the same strip.
This is a really neat horse. I mean, he just hasn't given very many bad efforts in his career. He's 6 out of 12, almost $2.5 million, and obviously likes the racetrack.
Dick, you know, sometimes in a race things change when the gate opens. Let's get the call of the Whitney.
Mr. Buff is on top with Improbable racing in second. By My Standards is next in third. Then Code of Honor. And after that beginning, Tom's d'Etat is the trailer in fifth. It's New York bred Mr. Buff, the leader here by almost 2 lengths. The quarter, 25 seconds. It's a slow pace here with Improbable, the California Invader, giving chase in second. By My Standards is next in third, 2.5 lengths to Code of Honor, and 2.5 more to Tom's d'Etat. And now the field is midway up the backstretch, and it is long shot Mr. Buff in front here by a length. Improbable runs in second, then By My Standards next in third. Farther back it is Code of Honor, and Tom's d'Etat continues to race last. With a half mile in 49 3, Mr. Buff will lead the field into the far turn. Improbable has been tracking the entire way and is now getting closer. So it's Mr. Buff and Improbable. The two of them are right together. By My Standards is just in behind in third. Code of Honor is fourth, 3 lengths from the lead. And Tom's d'Etat, 3/4 went in 1:13.1. Mr. Buff gives way, and Improbable is the leader as the field comes into the stretch. Then it is By My Standards, Mr. Buff, Code of Honor, and Tom's d'Etat. It's Improbable in front inside the 8th pole. Improbable has built a 4-length lead. By My Standards, Tom's d'Etat, Code of Honor. It's Improbable and Erod Ortiz Jr. to win the Whitney.
Well, Dick, how many times have we seen Improbable have issues at the starting gate? Well, he's kind of acting up. When the gate opens, who stumbles badly? But Tom's d'Etat almost eliminating him right at the beginning. Improbable gets a perfect trip just off the pace. Bob Baffert, Erod Ortiz up 3-1, $8.50 to win. Back-to-back Grade 1 whip victories now for Improbable.
Look, Improbable was a very highly touted 3-year-old. He was actually the favorite in the Derby last year. People forget that now. He never quite got it together. He is a better horse, clearly proved. 105 buyer in the Gold Cup, 106 today. But as you said, Keith, a dream trip, moderate fractions. Tom's d'Etat was eliminated at the start. You just put a line through this race. If he's not eliminated, he's right up outside of Improbable. The race is run completely differently. I give Improbable, Baffert. I can't believe Baffert was 3-1. That never happens when he comes east. I think he was going to make Tom's d'Etat run, but it would have been interesting to see what would have happened. And the way to measure this is, last time Tom's d'Etat beat By My Standards by 4 1/4. This time, By My Standards holds off Tom's d'Etat in a stretch. I want to see this again before I believe that Improbable is better than Tom's d'Etat.
Let's go back into the starting gate, see if we can't start that race over again. Dick, also up at Saratoga, Grade 1 sprint for the 3-year-olds at the Alan Jerkins, 7 furlongs here for a purse of $200,000. A pretty big field went to the gate in the Alan Jerkins. The favorite, number 6, No Parole, is 2-1 for trainer Tom Amos. Dick, a gate-to-wire winner last time out in the Grade 1. Woody Stevens jumped to the front and never looked back.
So he's a gate-to-wire winner in a 5-horse field where he got loose on the lead, no pressure, never in doubt. So a different scenario, obviously, in this race. Last time he's 3-1 against 4. Now he's 2-1 against
10.
I'm not sure I like him as much.
Second choice draws outside. Number 11, Tap It to Win. He gets 7-2 for trainer Mark Cassie, coming out of a disappointing effort at the Belmont Stakes, Dick, where he set the pace and then faded far behind. But Dick, Tap It to Win, going to turn back in distance today, and you'd have to think he'd be better at this shorter distance.
Yeah, like the turn back. The Belmont was just too much too soon.
Yep,
Mark
came right back.
I got a hot horse. I'm going to go for it. That's kind of his MO. It didn't work. That's fine. This is still a talented horse. And you like his post. You like the position where he's going to be.
And Mischievous Alex in here for John Service and our guys at Cassius King and LC. Mischievous Alex, the 5-horse, gets bet down to 5-1. Dick, off 3.5 months, didn't look so good in the Woody Stevens.
Yeah, I thought Kendrick gave him a great ride. I thought he had him in great position. He just didn't have that pop in around the far turn and into the stretch. And John Service told us afterwards, Keith, that maybe he trained him a little too hard to get to that race, because remember, we didn't know if that race was even going to happen. So John had backed off him a little bit, so he's hoping for better from Mischievous Alex in this one.
Let's get the Grade 1 call of the Alan Jerkins.
The opening quarter, 22 and 3/5 seconds, and it is No Parole, the leader here by 3/4 of a length. Mischievous Alex on the outside runs in second. Tap It to Win now advances into third. 8 Rings down at the rail, runs in fourth. Echo Town is now gaining ground in between horses and moving up from fifth. As the field races midway on the turn, the half in 45 and 1. It is No Parole, Mischievous Alex, and Tap It to Win. Echo Town is in fourth. On the outside is Captain Bombastic, then Shoplifted and 8 Rings. The field is in the stretch. No Parole is all out. Mischievous Alex is there. Here is Tap It to Win on the outside. Echo Town is still in with a chance. And on the far outside, it is Shoplifted. There's a 16th to the finish. And here's Echo Town now to take over. And Echo Town is drawing away in the stretch. Echo Town wins the Allen Jerkin Stakes.
Well, Dick, you mentioned how does Baffert go off at 3-1 coming east, or it was 9-1 out in the shared belief. How does Steve Asmussen go off at 7-1 here with number 4 Echo Town, who ran a good second last time with the Woody Stevens, and here he comes barreling down the stretch at 7-1, gets up to win by 3.5 lengths and pays $16.40 to win. This is a good horse.
It is a good horse, and somebody knew he was going to run well. Our buddy Marshall Graham bet big on him in the Naira Bets contest on Saturday. He finishing second because of how well Echo Town ran. And it was only a 93 buyer, but the race set up. There was a pretty big speed duel. In fact, the only horse that really survived the speed duel into the stretch was Mischievous Alex. He was still running. No Parole had backed out. The other speed horses had backed out, but Alex, again, he just didn't have that punch, Keith, that he had in his earlier races. So we'll see what goes next with him.
Dick, let's get to our next week. We come back here on Let's Go Racing Weekly Awards, and Dick, we're going to take a look at Midnight Bisou. She never loses, right? We'll be right back with that after this.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. The weekly awards are brought to you by the Turning for Home program. We've told you about their website before. It's turningforhome.org. Log on and get involved with that great program today. Dick, our jockey of the week, a young guy that's been coming up and riding mostly for Claudio Gonzalez. Jeremy Laprida and doing a terrific job.
Absolutely.
So he's going to get my call as our jockey of the week. And last week, you know a name we haven't mentioned for a while. How about Pat Farrow?
Yeah,
Now,
what a week.
Now, her stable's been not cool, but kind of cold, really. How about 4 on one day last week?
So probably just needed to get him back running, because again, it's the virus affected different barns different ways.
So Pat Farrow, our trader of the week. Let's get to race recap, brought to you by the good folks at Pewter Stable. Log on to their website. It's pewterstable.com. Become an order today. We'll start with the Grade 1 Percival Ensign from Saratoga. Fillies and mares, 9 furlongs, $500,000. Midnight Bisou, 1-5. There's that 1-5 again, Nick. She only has 2 losses since November of 2018. The Breeders' Cup Distaff and then the Saudi Cup to Maximum Security. But Dick, number 4, Vexatious at 9-1. Midnight Bisou's got to go by, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like for all the world she's going to get by at some point, Keith, but she never does.
She doesn't.
It was not a good day for 1-5 shots, as we saw Honor AP go down earlier. This was not the case of Midnight Bisou running poorly. The winner got 105. Vexatious for young Jack Sisterson, who was a longtime assistant to Doug O'Neill. His first Grade 1 win, And as we're going to see a little bit, he almost won 2 in the same day.
$21 to win on Vexatious. Next, it's the Grade 1 Bing Crosby from Del Mar, 6 furlongs for $250,000. Dick McKenzie scratched out of this one. The favorite ends up being number 9, Collusion Illusion, at 9-5 for trainer Mark Glad, who's won all 4 of his career starts in sprints. And Dick, we got a pace meltdown and a big stretch run here.
You're right. You throw out his American Pharoah when he went long, and those other races were great. And this pace was unreal. 5 horses across the track flying. Here come the 2 closers on the inside. What a move by Flavie and Pratt to dive to the inside with the 9. And here comes Lexitonia on the far outside. This is the Jack Sisterson horse. Just misses at the wire. Remember, he was a gate scratch last week in the Vanderbilt at Saratoga, so they sent him west, and he almost won a Grade 1 out there.
Collusion Illusion now 5 for 5 in sprint races and pays $5.80 to win. Dick, finally, it's the Monmouth Oaks. Let's go to the Monmouth Oaks. 3-year-old fillies for $200,000. Number 6, Lucrezia, 7-5 for trainer Arnaud Delacour. Dick, Project Whiskey is in here at 6-1 for trainer Butch Reed, coming off that victory in the Delaware Oaks. Almost gets it done again.
Yeah, and I mean, she's running great, and she actually runs the favorite Lucrezia right out of the race here, Keith, and gets to the top of the stretch in the lead. But here comes Hopeful Growth with blinkers on for Anthony Margada, just going to roll by and win pretty convincingly for the St. Elias stable of Vinnie Viola. But Project Whiskey ran great again to be second.
Yep.
And I know they were a little upset that Frankie wasn't able to come up and ride. It's just the way they're not letting riders in and out of a lot of different places. It wasn't that George Vargas rode him poorly or her poorly, but Frankie's the regular rider, and every win this filly has had, Frankie has ridden.
Hopeful Growth got a great trip. You get $25.60 to win. Eye on Racing, Dick. We talked about the big day up at the Travers Stakes. How about the Test Stakes and Gamine? We got the Ballerina with defending champion Come Dancing, and our pure sensation going to go into Troy on the grass.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Gamine again. I mean, that was such an awesome race the last time we saw her, when she wins by 18 lengths and runs a crazy by her. So looking forward to seeing her. And obviously that'll be her last part prior to the Kentucky Oaks.
And our man Bob says she might even be better than she was then. Let's get to our last break news and notes. We come back after this. A good friend of ours approaching a serious milestone. Of that, we come back after this.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing News and Notes, brought to you by the Granny Fund. Get involved with that continued education on the backstretch. Do it with the Granny Fund. He's Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones. And Dick, you love to look ahead to next year's Derby because the 2-year-olds are just getting started, and somebody caught your eye.
Yeah, there was a 2-year race at Saratoga a week ago where everybody liked their horse. Well, then one horse just blew the field away. Reinvestment Risk. Chad Brown, a first-time starter, wins by 7. Shades 110, gets a 90 buyer figure
first time
out on August the 1st.
Dick, somebody we spent a good deal of time with a number of years ago is approaching a big milestone. It's hard to win 5,000 races.
Yeah, Stuart Elliott, certainly one of the all-time greats in the history of Parks Racing, a member of the inaugural Hall of Fame class here. He's riding mostly in the Midwest now, and as we're doing this, is at 49.98.
Yes.
So congratulations to Stu as he clears 5,000.
Can we give him our Jockey of the Week next week?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got it. Let's go to wrap it up. Come out and enjoy Travers Day right here at Parks, and we'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.